Are you feeling tired, worn out, weary? I don't mean physically, I mean heart weary, soul weary. Is life just wearing you out? And you might have it particularly challenging at the moment, or maybe your life is particularly challenging. You might be dealing with grief, ill health, toxic relationship, family breakdown. You might be dealing with job loss, homelessness, cancer, old age, all sorts of things. The list goes on. Or maybe you're feeling weary because you're chasing after unrealistic expectations, either by trying to please other people or keep up with other people, or internal, personal, unrealistic expectations. See, we're given an image of what our life should be like here in the Western world, and it's just not realistic. An image where we're trying to achieve all sorts of things, be an amazing person to everyone and doing everything and having everything, and it's just not possible. And when we're striving for it, we just get weary. Jesus says, "Come to me if you're weary, and I will give you rest." Now let me say this. If you are struggling with something particularly, you should be getting help for that. You should be seeing your GP or your mental health professional. You should be accessing the help that is available. Don't ignore that stuff. But for our spiritual weariness, for our soul tiredness, Jesus says to us, "Come to me if you're weary, and I will give you rest." Jesus came to us first. He didn't, we don't have a faith that says we need to achieve an amazing level of holiness within ourselves first. We don't need to strive for all of that and achieve something great and close to perfection, and then we can come into the presence of God. That's not what our faith is about. I believe in a God who came to us while we were in a mess. The rest that we get is knowing that our God knows everything about us, knows our mistakes, our disappointments, knows our potential and our struggle to be able to reach that potential, and loves us regardless. The rest is us knowing that even though and because we are fully known for who we are, not for what we do, and not for what we've achieved, and not for whether we've got it all together, but we are fully known for who we are, and we are fully loved. And within that is the freedom to be who we are, to not have to meet some other unrealistic expectations, but to be us and to be loved for being us. It doesn't mean we shouldn't be trying to improve ourselves, but we shouldn't have that as a burden. Jesus says, "My burden is light." And the reason is because he wants us to know that regardless of anything, we are loved. And that might sound a bit pie in the sky to you. It might sound like, okay, well, that sounds lovely, but how does that work in practice? And it's a little bit hard to explain sometimes, I think. But when you invite Jesus into your life, when you say, you know what, Jesus, I don't understand all this stuff, but I want to experience it. My own experience is that sometimes in the moments that I face up to the fact that I mess up, and then I ask Jesus in amongst that to be with me, my heart feels lighter. I feel like, it's a bit like with that little kid that comes up to the parents and they've disappointed, and the parent gives them a big hug and says, "It's okay. I'm so glad you tried. Have another go." And it feels like that in my heart. And if you want that feeling, you're only going to get it from one place. From Jesus. So if you're feeling tired, if you're feeling worn out, if life has you feeling weary, come to Jesus and he will give you rest.